And by the end of this, oh my God, there's a lot of foods. Okay. I didn't actually scroll down before. Like, I didn't remember it being this many foods. But anyway, by the end of this video, you should completely understand what are the best and worst foods for you to eat. Let's get right into it. First, we have Alfredo. So Alfredo, I guess we're going to have to kind of go through this a little bit quickly. So Alfredo is just grains. It is missing 15 nutrients. It's just obviously garbage. We could put that in, why did I just moan? We could put that in a horrible food. Yeah, we could put that in horrible food. Next, we have almonds. Almonds are a seed. They're just full of phytic acid. They have the plain version of omega-3s. They have LA. They don't have DHA or EPA. They have just nothing of anything. Death tier food might be crazy for almonds. We'll put them in horrible food. Next, we have anchovies. So assuming these are wild caught, all fish are going to be really good. They're good sources of DHA and EPA. They're good sources of fat soluble vitamins, especially vitamin D. Typically, besides organs like the brain, anchovies are going to have the most vitamin D, seafood in general are going to have the most vitamin D out of almost any animal food. We can put them in the top 1% because also when you eat whole anchovies, you get the bone for a lot of calcium. You get all the organs, you get really good balanced micronutrient profile and mineral profile. So yeah, we can put just a whole fish in the top 1% food, absolutely. Angel cake, just a bunch of drugs and grains mashed up into a, this is absolute garbage. This is absolute garbage. Where do we want to put it though? Just horrible food. Next we have an apple. So an apple is pretty much vitamin C, has some minerals, and then it's just fructose and glucose. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of fructose. Fructose is very aging to the body, especially to the skin because of advanced glycation end products. It produces a lot of those, and advanced glycation end products are 11 times more likely to occur from fructose rather than glucose. And these will bind to the collagen and elastin in your skin. And I won't have to repeat this anymore. This is just remember, fructose, aging, quite literally, it's processed completely in your liver, causes fatty liver disease, the non-alcoholic version over time. So that said, it can still be a median food. Okay, there at least it's a whole food. You're gonna not have seed oils. It's gonna be less processed with a few additives. Only thing you have to worry about is pesticides with fruit typically. Applesauce, literally the same. And I'm sure there's a lot of doctors out there that would say, no, they're so different. One's a no, bro. I don't care if the fiber is mashed up or not. It's not a big deal. Apricot, fruits are always gonna be median. They have some benefits for hydration. They can be very hydrating, but they're not actual nutrition. Like if you only ate fruits, you would be malnourished. The thing you have to eat is meat, and you always have to eat it, okay? And these other foods are just extras. Okay, next we have asparagus. Asparagus is loaded with very nasty anti-nutrients. Horrible food. Obviously, it has no actual complete nutrition for humans, just garbage. Avocado. This is actually the only fruit that's going in an above average food, okay? It has vitamin K1 and vitamin E. Again, K1 is pretty garbage compared to K2. It actually does have vitamin E. The vitamin E from plant and animal foods is actually quite comparable. The good thing about avocado is it does have a very nice mineral profile that goes very well with animal foods. So the potassium content, it's pretty good, and it's very low carb as well. It's very low in fructose. So avocado is probably the only fruit I actually consume when I'm locked in. Again, I wasn't locked in not too long ago. Now I'm on like day 3 of being locked in, so I would consume some avocado. Avocado toast. Well, they took all those benefits, then they just smacked grains, so that goes straight to horrible. Haboti? We're gonna leave that unranked. I have no idea. Okay, there's a lot of foods. Okay, we really need to go. Okay, bacon. Above average food. Again, it's processed with a lot of salt. It's still meat though, so above average. Bagel. Almost want to just put it in death tier. There's nothing redeeming about this one. Just nothing. Let me actually look this ranking. Alfredo, almonds, angel cake. We'll put that there. Okay. Baguette, same thing, just grains. Baked beans, yeah, they can go here as well. These are just filled with the high fructose corn syrup, sweetening agent, and then beans, of course, just have lectins. Again, when they're cooked, they will have less lectins, but there's just no nutrition. This is just full of sugar. Baked potato, we'll put that below average. See, it's below fruits because it's going to be a lot less hydrating, and it's still just sugar. The one good thing is that it's going to be more glucose. It's a starchy carb. I do prefer glucose over fructose 100%, of course. But yeah, still just deplete in terms of nutrition. Baked ziti, this looks like lasagna, I want to say, so I can just go to that. Baklava, I can just go to horrible. Banana, we can put that in median, just normal fruit. Banana bread, horrible. Banana peppers, technically a fruit. They have capsaicin, solanine, these sort of nightshade and spicy food specific anti-nutrients, but we can just put it kind of below average. Barbecue sauce, horrible. Beef jerky, we'll go to above average. So it is an above average food. Certainly, these foods aren't too bad. I actually had bacon yesterday. Not because it's like, oh, I want bacon, that's my preference for what to eat. It's just because I simply had nothing else. Okay. So beef jerky, again, the water soluble vitamins are going to be really reduced through that drying process. However, beef jerky is still quite a good food overall. Still going to get protein and fat, right? The actual animal nutrition you need. Beef kofta has beef in the name, so we're just going to put it above average. Beef stew, okay. These things are more processed, but still definitely above average. Beef strogoni, it has noodles, doesn't it? We'll put that in median then. It's like here, really, but we'll put it like the top of this. Beef Wellington. Oh man, does beef Wellington, what is it? Oh, they put the steak in a loaf of bread? Bro. That is so retarded. What? Really? Oh man, that is so retarded, bro. That's funny. Okay, garbage. We'll put it below average because they did. I don't know, man. I guess it can go here. I guess we'll put the animal food with bread in the median tier because at least you get a nice portion of raw meat from that dish. Actually, bell peppers, just they're one of the worst fruits are enemy peppers. Bibimbap looks like we have an egg that's quite uncooked. It's pretty good. I see a lot of greens and vegetables though, so we'll go in the median tier. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. It looks like some grains. So biscuits, horrible food. Now the thing with berries is berries are going to be more sprayed than other foods. Just simply going to have way more pesticides, and this is just every single time. So blackberries, we'll put on the end of median. Same with blueberries. Boba, I think it has caffeine, doesn't it? It just has a bunch of sugar and just, garbage. Brats with sauerkraut and bread, so that's kind of going to be in this tier. Brazil nuts, just a seed. Just a seed. Maybe we could put them. I guess if they're cooked, they can go here. The seeds can go there if they're cooked. Okay, if they're not cooked, then no. Breadsticks, just horrible. All right, next we have rice because borscht. I don't know what that is. Next we have. Okay. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Maybe I should just start going through it. Rice. Horrible. Death tier. Broccoli is death tier. Broccoli is one of the worst foods you can ever eat. The goitrogen content, again, it has no nutrition. Oh man, there's a reason babies hate to eat broccoli. That's for good reason. They can actually taste these goitrogens, these other anti-nutrients on their tongue. And if you don't know, goitrogens basically mess up your thyroid, which then messes up your iodine, which can actually cause mental retardation in children. Again, in my references tab, I actually have all the data citing how broccoli disrupts the thyroid and therefore the iodine of especially children, and how this iodine deficiency can cause to developmental delays and issues, even mental retardation. So broccoli is the food I would avoid the most on this entire list so far, especially raw broccoli. Just stay very far away from that one, especially for your children. Stay very far away. Actually, brownies, horrible food. Brown rice, horrible food. Just basically horrible food. Brussels sprouts, another horrible one. We'll just put it there. Next we have buffalo wings. Uh, Honestly, above average food. I mean, the sauce is obviously gonna have capsaicin. It's all I need. But the wings themselves, it's just some nice meat. Burrito, median, cake. There. Okay, maybe we'll just look through and see if there's anything I should like actually comment on. Okay, hard boiled egg will put top 1%. Cream cheese will put top 1%. Lobster, perfect if it's wild caught. See if there's anything else people might not be a little lost on. Yogurt, top 1%. Dairy is just never going to be the same as meat. It's still very good. It can also cause some issues for some people. I feel like a lot of this stuff is quite obvious, so we won't need to cover everything. Nutella, we'll just put that in death tier. Actual death tier food. If you guys didn't know, the base of Nutella is seed oils, and then it's sugar. It's literally liquid seed oils and sugar. There would be a way for them to just make it a horrible food if they used maybe some sort of animal fat or some sort of different, like cream cheese or something, and then probably tastes better too, actually. But at the moment, Nutella is absolute death tier. Cottage cheese, top 1%. Ham, that's top. It's a bit processed, but we can put it up there. In that case, that should be up there. Yeah, we'll do that. See if there's anything interesting. Ice cream, bro. I almost want to put ice cream above average because at least it's like, no, it can't be the sugar, but at least it has a fair bit of animal. Normally has eggs and cream, and it's actually has some nutrition in it. Wild caught tuna, it's a perfect food. Pepperoni, we'll put that above average. It's sort of in the same, the processed meats, bacon, pepperoni, beef jerky. Those are all kind of in the above average tier. Grilled chicken, top 1%. The reason it just can't be perfect is, again, the linoleic acid content of almost all chicken nowadays, because they just eat grains, and because it's simply very low in animal fat. So oysters, these are perfect, man. Those are up there. Ribs, if you don't use any sauce, top 1% easily. If they had steak tartare, that would obviously be perfect. The top of perfect foods. Salmon is, well, it's there. I wouldn't cook salmon myself. Wasabi, not a fan. Definitely a horrible food. Just full of anti-nutrients. So yeah, guys, I mean, here's the thing. So seeds, grains, plants that aren't fruits are all going to be down here, okay? And what makes something worse, because I guess if you understand the mechanism, I don't need to rank each food, you can kind of just understand. The thing that makes these things death tier is they basically have actual poisons, like a fair bit amounts. Like broccoli with its goitrogens, Nutella with its full of seed oils. These foods are horrible. They're basically just sugar. Again, the grains will have some phytic acid, some, tannins, some lectins, some oxalates, depending on the grain. The seed, grains or seeds. And then we have the below average foods, and these are just things with, maybe some mild anti-nutrients, but almonds obviously aren't as damaging as like a baguette, right? They're a lot less processed, which does matter. They do have some nutrition. Will you be able to even get it? It's debatable. These are, things like breakfast sandwich, it does have some meat and cheese, but it's just grilled in seed oil. It has a bun, same with the breakfast burrito. So, there's some variance among these tiers, and these are just pretty much going to be plants, seeds, sugar, etc. These median foods are going to be, for your fruits and maybe your less processed meat products that maybe have some grains in them. Something like ice cream, which is the foundation. There's no seed oils in it. The foundation of it is actually animal products. Then above average foods, we have the only fruits I'd put up here is literally avocado. Then we have some processed meats. And then top 1%, we have the more clean animal foods, like just grilled chicken, hard-boiled eggs, cream cheese, yogurt, sour cream, ribs. And then their perfect foods are going to be your unprocessed foods, ideally, your whole animal foods, no processing, and ideally you would eat them raw, okay? So like raw oysters, raw wild-caught salmon, raw wild-caught anchovies, raw wild-caught lobster. Now, if you want to cook them, it's not a huge deal. I would just suggest not cooking them 100% well done, because then you will have some decent nutrition loss when you do that, especially in the water-soluble vitamins. Let's see if there's anything else worth mentioning. So yeah, all these fruits are just going to be pretty mid. Coconut, honestly, nah, coconut low-key can go up there as well. I didn't grab it. It's quite hydrating, you know. It actually has saturated fat. Of course, it's not saturated animal fat. So hopefully this explanation made sense. I mean, again, the foods I eat, the foods I think are really the best are, I just eat beef, lamb, actual pasture-raised eggs, some wild-caught seafood. That's really all you need. That's really all you need. And I also eat some organs. I eat liver every day pretty much. I eat some beef heart now and then. And if I'm feeling it, occasionally maybe an avocado, maybe occasionally some dairy. Not a lot though, especially because I'm trying to debloat right now. And you know, debloating really just means lowering your water retention, lowering your body fat percentage. So the way to do that, simply stop consuming carbohydrate and simply have balanced electrolytes and simply be in a ketogenic state to lose weight. So yeah guys, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I'll rank any food you guys want. I hope this made sense. Hope you learned something. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.